Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Donna, how are you today?
Excellent. What is a Taggy? And congrats.
Sure, thanks. Well, the Taggy is like the Academy Award or Grammy for toy design. It's our first one. We've been nominated a couple of times. I actually didn't expect to win. And I kid you not, I was literally walking out of the restroom trying to figure out where the bar was when I heard my name get like announced. I was like, oh,
Really?
wow.
Hi, I'm Matt Nietzsche, and I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. I design toys and games for a living. In my travels, I've met many people who love telling me the story of their favorite toys and games from childhood and how it helped shape them into the people that they are today. These are the toys of our lives.
Well, you did a great job getting out of that bunker up and down in 4. Nice par.
I was really worried about that sand trap.
Nice par. Nice
Thank
par. Excellent.
So, should we get some gloves?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Sounds good. How'd you become such a great putter?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, it's funny that you wouldn't believe this, but the whole putting skills actually come from a game that I created unbelievably back 30 years ago.
Really?
In the early 1990s.
What game?
Well, the quick story is the game was called Gator Golf, and it was inspired by another game we made called Crocodile Dentist, and which followed up from a game called Shark Attack, which was created by a legendary toy inventor named Eddie Goldfarb, who's 103 years old now.
Yeah.
He invented, believe it or not, chattering teeth, the old wind-up chattering teeth. I mean, dozens, if not hundreds of other games and toys. And he made Shark Attack, and the following year, he made a Shark Attack bowling game, which was the bowling pin was a shark and the pins were fish. And it didn't sell well, but it inspired me to figure, how do we make Crocodile Dentist? How do we follow it up? And that was the idea, to do it as a sports product. We rendered up a bunch of different sports. The golf held, and we ended up with a product that, instead of Crocodile Dentist Golf, ended up calling Gator Golf. It rolls off the tongue better with the alliteration and marketing reasons. And I used to play Gator Golf, and I don't know, somehow it translates out on the golf course.
Yeah, show me some of those tricks. Let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
Those are incredible putting skills, Bob. Thank you for teaching me so much today. Is this the preferred putter?
That is definitely the right club for you.
Oh, thank you so much. What's up next for next toy?
Oh, next toy, we work a lot with Goliath Games and Toys, who make Gator Golf. And we have a Power Saber coming out. It's the first automatic extending and retracting lightsaber that's ever been done.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Where can I find those?
Target, Walmart, Amazon, every toy store.
Wow. I'm gonna go find one myself. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, man. Great round.
Excellent. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, I'd love to know what your favorite toy was growing up.
Well, I loved He-Man, and so I loved all those toys. The Transformer toys are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I also grew up in Okinawa as a kid, so the Shogun Warriors were very dear to me, and I started buying their comic books over the past couple years, and it's been amazing. But yeah, I've got to say Transformers. I mean, they've turned that into just a dynasty, and it's
Absolute
amazing.
Franchise, yeah.
I would have to say my favorite toy as a kid was the green Stretch Armstrong. I don't know if a lot of people remember that. It was a long time ago, but that was one of my favorite toys, and my parents got it for me for Christmas one year, and I was so excited. But the only thing is, I broke it probably in a couple of days. I stretched it too much and broke the arms and legs. So it was still one of my favorite toys to this day.
I mean, you could pull those things like ridiculous.
Oh, it was awesome. Man, I really wish I could give that to my youngest son now, but they don't even make them these days.
You know what? Coming from a big family, 6 kids, any toy was our favorite toy, to be honest with you. But as I got a little older, Tecmo Bowl, the little game, football game, became very popular. But, again, seriously, any toy that we was able to get was a good toy back in the day for us.
Well, I don't know if it's really considered a toy. It was a football game. It was the electric football games with the little electric teams, and I had all the teams.
The Miggle ones with the shook?
Yeah, exactly. That you plug it in, and then you hit the button, and they just.
Yeah, the electronic football.
Electronic football, and I loved that game, and it was one of the most fun games I ever had. And I had all my buddies in the neighborhood. They would come and they would grab teams, and we would play. We had like a little tournament every year to see who would be the Super Bowl champs. And that game I played for probably about 7 or 8 years. It was my favorite game.
Slinky. I love Slinky. I love making it go down the steps. That was my favorite thing. I love playing with a Slinky.
I have a brother, he's 2 years older, and ironically I wanted to play every sport he played, so a lot of times our toys were associated with sports. And my very first 2 toys I loved were, number one, Transformers, because I thought it was really cool, you could adapt to your environment. But I also liked My Little Ponies. So I was a girly Tom girl, if you will, and I played with both. I think exploration with toys creates a sense of creativity and a sense of figuring out what your passions are. So my parents were really into exposing us to all different sports, all different toys, but the number one requirement was it had to be active. They didn't want us behind computer games. They didn't want us sedentary or sitting down. They wanted us out playing with other kids to learn how to socialize and work through things together. So carpet bowls is another one, Monopoly, board games. But at the end of the day, it always had some form of physical activity combined with the intellectual activity. And I think that's the best message to give to young kids is be physical and be intellectual, and you can be both at the same time.
Well, I didn't have a lot of toys, but my parents did buy me Legos. The planes, the trucks, the fire truck. That might have been my favorite one. The fire truck, putting the fire truck together, the tractor.
Oh yeah, I had all the dinosaurs. Every dinosaur you could imagine. I walked past the dinosaur section when I first came to the second floor, and I had a little bit of heart palpitations because I missed them so much, you know. Triceratops.
Can you do your best Triceratops impersonation?
Yeah, you like that?
I love it. I love it. You're great. As a child, what were some of your favorite toys? Oh, the silent treatment? Whatever.
Is declaring November in Rosemont the Chicago Toy and Game Fair month. So I want to congratulate them and welcome them, and let's cut this ribbon and let the games begin, huh? 1, 2, 3, all right!
Licensed by toy companies and show up at a retail shelf. Seriously.
Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 19th Annual Young Inventor Challenge International Championship Awards Ceremony. Oh yeah, all right, now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. What do you say? You guys ready for the awards? All right, everybody, will you do the honors of sharing our 2024 Best Pitch Junior and Senior winners?
I would be honored, and I think the rules state that the youngest goes first, right? So I'll do Junior Best Pitch, which goes to Aliens vs. Cows, Elliot Anderson. Elliot, if you're here, come on up, buddy. A senior winner for Best Pitch, and that is going to Skirmish Battle War, Gideon Kaufman. Come on up, Gideon. Abracadabra. Junior Most Innovative goes to Makenix, Richard Lee, and Claire Trampa. Our last two winners here. Junior Best Potential goes to Smack It, Olivia Sheets. And our final winner of today goes to our Senior Best Potential, 10-ball Alex Kirsch. Maybe he's on camera. Hi, Alex. For the 19th Annual Young Inventor Challenge, you've all created something very remarkable. Let's give one last of a round of applause to all of you winners.
We'd like to welcome our Toy Association Board of Directors, the Toy Industry Foundation trustees, and one of which, Kathleen Camposano. Kathleen, are you here? Or no? She was one of our first speakers at one of our first conferences, which was really awesome, and she's been to a few of them. And of course, our Toy Association senior staff is also here, including President Greg Ahern, who I would like to welcome now to speak.
Thank you for having us here. First, I would like to thank Mary personally. This is my first time here. at People of Play. And it is an unbelievable undertaking for one individual who has been doing this for so many, many years. So I'd love to have everybody give it up again for Mary Cousin and everything that she does today.
The invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
Well, the winner of the Game Inventor of the Year is somebody who said to me they hope they can share the stage with me tonight, and the winner is April Mitchell.
Wow, this is amazing and this is beautiful. So many of you know I started here like 7 years ago with awful concepts, really just trying to do something with them. So it's amazing to have this award. Shout out to Ed Garton, who mentored me in this industry, and when he asked why should I do this, I said because one day I'm gonna stand on that stage and get a taggy and say thank you. So thank you, Ed, okay?
Hi, I'm Alex Mackey with Lethal Chicken Games. We were nominees here at the Taggy Awards tonight for Little Peg for Best Design. It was a great night. Mary Cousin does a phenomenal job. It was a super fun event, and we're just super happy to be part of the toy industry.
Mary, thank you so much for everything that you do. You are the most amazing person in the entire world.
Hey everyone, we're here at the Taggies 2024 edition and having an amazing time. Huge shout out to Mary Cousins for putting on once again an amazing show and putting on an amazing week. She's just the lifeblood of this whole community, and it's the best time of the year. So, great time.
Shout out to Mary for the greatest toy week of the year.
The most dedicated, most supporting to anyone in the toy industry. Thanks for everything, Mary.
Steve Rad with Abacus Brands and Backdrop.com. I'm here with my man Christian from Clask. We want to say happy anniversary to Mary Cousin and the TA. Thank you for having us. We love you.
And finish it would be hyvä syntymäpäivä ja onnea kaikesta tästä.
That translation is, where do I find the Penang curry around here?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you doing?
I'm just changing the channels on the TV.
With that?
Yeah, this is this concept they had a long time ago called the channel bopper. You bop it to change channels, just like that, and then you twist to get the volume up, and you pull it for on off.
That's pretty damn cool. Where can I get?
Oh, it's a total failure. It's completely failed. It's so disappointed that I ended up turning it into this game called Bop It.
Ah, how's that doing?
Pretty good.
Well, pleasure to see you again, Dan. Here we are at the People Play event in Chicago, Illinois. And I'm curious, did Bop It truly come up from this idea of a remote control for kids? And what's this slice of pizza doing it?
They are completely related. See, this started as a line of remotes for kids. I had this idea when I was working on remotes for Memorex. I was an industrial designer, and one of my first design jobs was doing designs, and this is actually a prototype of a remote from 30 years ago that I designed for Memorex. And while I was working on it, I thought, these are remotes for adults, but for kids, a remote control is kind of like a toy.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Something that, and why I had this idea that while you were watching, why not have crazy things that were remotes, like a slice of pizza, that the pepperoni was the volume switch, and this was called the couch potato.
And I love the title, Remotes Out of Control.
Remotes Out of Control.
Yeah,
they're just out of control. So these were part of this idea for Remotes Out of Control. And the best one was the channel bopper. I said, this is it. You don't need buttons. You just take this thing, you bop to change channels, twist for volume, pull on off.
So simple and intuitive.
Intuitive, and when you don't like the channel, you just bang on the table. That's very visceral. So this was rejected because they liked the pizza better, and that these products actually came out. And you could change channels with your pizza. I thought it was funny that it would look like you were eating pizza and your parents would come in and you go, it's my remote.
The slice is always nice.
So this got licensed to MGA. Isaac Larian, you know who he is in the toy industry, actually.
And back then he was doing all electronics. Today we know him for Bratz.
For Bratz. And so he was at my office. Surprise. And he came to my office in San Francisco and loved the idea, but I couldn't convince him to do the channel bopper. So 6 months later, Leanne Sirjak from Tiger called me and said, we're looking for some new electronic games for our electronic games are really slumping. And they were thinking of these handheld LCD games. So do you have anything innovative there? And I thought, well, maybe this hammer thing, instead of being a remote, what if it was a game that you banged on the table to play this LCD game? So I didn't quite know what it would be, but I thought it'd be cool to put a screen on it.
Right, it wasn't quite there yet. It was getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know how when you think of an idea and you know there's something there, but you have to explore it. So I was thinking of controlling the screen with these physical inputs. And it was part of this philosophy I had, or this mantra, which is it was something I'd heard, watch the game, not the player.
Right.
And I really like the idea, watch the player, not the game.
Right.
And so the idea is, how can you animate a person with your game, with your toy? That means by it being not just push buttons with your thumb, the insight for the remote was make them make big physical motions, a big twist, a big pull, a big bop. So when she asked for a new electronic game, I thought, maybe that would be a thing to do with a little game that you use your thumbs on. Instead of thumbs, maybe that game could use big inputs. So that's how it bridged from remote to maybe it's an idea for a more physical electronic game. What I tried failed again, because you couldn't watch the screen while you're banging it on the table. It's really hard to watch what was going on, it turns out. So it was also just felt off. And intuitively, I took the screen off. That's how it became Bop It, Twist It, Pull It. It was the simplest thing in the world. Just tell them what to do to it and see if that was, a challenge. And
it's become as American as apple pie. I mean, everyone has a Bop It. How many years now has it been?
It'll be 30 years next year.
30 years. So that means that the parents of today's kids were playing with it when they were children. And now you've got every toy designer's dream. You have an item or a toy that you've invented that now becomes multi-generational.
It changed the way that I approached inventing. I kind of saw, because this was literally pitched on this very rough idea, but it was just a big concept.
And that's just a foam core, piece of paper glued to foam core, huh?
But I dubbed in the sound, I made it look real, I created the illusion of it working. And that was so much quicker to get to get people to react to something without spending, weeks on a prototype. So I started to do a lot of other games that way. Had success with many other games. Eventually, Perplexus, Hyperdash, new games that are coming out now. Sling It, another It game. But I've done over 200 or 300 games in the last 30 years. It wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Bop It's success, because as you know, having one successful game allows you to make a lot more mistakes, which I did. And you have to have a lot of failure and be, maybe 1 out of 20 if you're lucky.
That's actually great.
Pretty good odds. So Bop It changed my life by just making it possible to work. I had like 3 jobs at the time, and I was able to cut one of them out and be confident that I could make some royalties from this.
Honey, I'm no longer working the fries.
But I was an illustrator. I was doing anything to kind of make money so that I could afford my toy invention habit, which can be an expensive one if you don't have
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So I think that's how it changed. And then through the years, I kept evolving Bop It. There's been many versions. Ended up doing this R2-D2, Groot, Chewbacca, if you look, I changed it into characters, which has been a lot of fun using the voices of those characters. And there's many, many more Bop It iterations as it's become such a pop culture icon.
Yeah.
So that what's kind of crazy is to imagine this thing that started with this little idea for a TV remote.
And rejected.
That somehow, you know, here we are 30 years later, it's part of pop culture and going. You know, as the millennial parents now buy it for their kids, it's on its way to becoming, you know, truly a classic.
See, you really bopped your dreams.
I'm going to bop you.
Oh. Dan, well, I'm really happy for you and that all your dreams have come true.
Oh, thanks, Matt, but actually they haven't. I never wanted to be a toy inventor, you know. Didn't want to bop it. I wanted to rock it.